It is not an easy job to impress reviewers like me who keep playing with phones day in and day out. And it becomes incredibly tough for a phone like the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, which for all intents and purposes is only a slight incremental update to the Galaxy S9, at least on paper. But here's a twist in the tail. I've been using the Galaxy S10 Plus as my primary daily driver for the past 2 weeks now, and I can say this with a fair amount of confidence that the Galaxy S10 Plus is the best Android phone you can buy right now. I am Ashar from Mr. Phone, and this is our full review of the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. The Galaxy S10 Plus carries forward the same design IP that it started with the Galaxy S7. Only that over the years it has been refined a lot. The S10 Plus now has a flattened out panel and the edges are not very curved. This is unlike the Mate 20 Pro, which has a more pronounced curvature. Honestly, the Galaxy S10 Plus looks more like a Note device than an actual Galaxy S flagship. Is Samsung trying to tell us something? The flat, wide display panel and the rear both blend into the thin aluminum frame, making the phone look and feel super premium. Also adding to the premium feel is the incredible looking prism white color that bounces light off of it in a unique fashion, making the entire rear look iridescent and shiny. Moving on, the camera module extends outwards from the rear slightly, creating a really non-negligible bump. What's even more surprising is that despite being a big phone, almost as big as the Note 9, the S10 Plus is slimmer and lighter too. It is an ergonomic marvel. Moreover, the phone is IP68 certified, meaning it is now waterproof. Coming back to the design, I'm glad that Samsung is sticking to its guns with the 3.5mm port. But the placement of the power button is a little too high. And yes, the Bixby button continues to exist on the left edge. Thankfully, Samsung now gives you the option to remap the Bixby button to any app of your choice. But wait for it, you cannot remap it to any other voice assistant like Google Assistant. Very smart move, Samsung. But the design is not without flaws. For one, it keeps slipping out of the hand easily. Thankfully, you get a bundle case in the box. If not, you can use this sturdy case, this Kevlar case from Rhino Shield, which by the way is my favorite case for the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, which will definitely protect your phone from a fall. Moving on, my second issue and a very minor nitpick is the ports at the bottom are not aligned properly, which breaks the symmetry. And the third and final issue is that the hybrid SIM tray seems super flimsy. It is made out of a flexible plastic, unlike the very sturdy metal tray used by a phone like the iPhone XS Max or the iPhone XR. Obviously, these issues are very tiny and won't really matter in the long run when you're using the Galaxy S10 Plus as your daily driver. All in all, the Galaxy S10 Plus is a stunning smartphone as far as smartphone designs go, and it is bound to grab a lot of attention. Including a good display on a flagship is an unsaid commandment from the Bible of smartphones. And Samsung, like every year, dazzles with the display on its flagship smartphone. The Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus has this massive 6.3-inch Quad HD dynamic AMOLED panel that looks incredible from the get-go. And with up to 1200 nits of brightness, viewing it outdoors is definitely not going to be a problem. In fact, if you think that the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus's display is bad, please get your eyes checked. Now coming to the most important new addition, or should I say deletion, to the display, the hole punch for the dual selfie cameras on the front. This pill-shaped cutout is placed on the top right corner, and honestly, you won't notice it after the first couple of hours. It immediately becomes a part of the peripheral vision even faster than the notch does. Now the pill also means that the clock, the battery indicator, the network indicators and the incoming notifications are all pushed slightly left. Again, not an issue. What is an issue is that most apps automatically cut the notch in the landscape mode. You can choose to run them in full screen as well, but the pill-shaped cutout eats into UI elements in games and even in an app like Netflix. I don't know if app makers are going to code the UI elements around the hole punch just for the Samsung Galaxy S series. While we wait for some creativity from app makers, there are already some wallpapers out there with these incredible creative ways to incorporate the notch. I'm sure you guys have already seen those. Another new addition to the S10 Plus is the inclusion of an in-display fingerprint scanner. Unlike the optical fingerprint scanner we've seen in phones like the OnePlus 6T and the Vivo V15 Pro, Samsung uses an ultrasonic solution. This solution enables you to unlock the phone even without switching on the display, therefore saving more energy. I did find the fingerprint scanner to be responsive in my time that I used it, and it felt fast too. But my only concern is that the touch area for your finger is very small, so that is the reason why there are a lot of missed touches that happen. What makes a premium smartphone is a snappy haptic feedback from the vibration engine, and the S10 Plus doesn't disappoint here. It is almost as good as the sophisticated vibration hardware inside the iPhone XS Max or the Pixel 3 XL. The S10 Plus's great display means that watching videos on this phone is a visual treat. Samsung has also added support for HDR10 Plus playback now, so by default all HDR video playback on the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus feels incredible. I caught up with episodes of Russian Doll on Netflix on the phone itself instead of using my TV. The bright and colorful display definitely entices you to watch more videos. And the dual stereo speaker, where the earpiece acts as the secondary speaker, is crisp and loud too. I still think Pixel's front-firing dual speakers are the best sounding of all the stereo speakers on smartphones, but the S10 Plus's quality comes tantalizingly close. It doesn't hurt that Samsung has added support for Dolby Atmos as well. As far as the headphone jack quality is concerned, I found it to be excellent. It is no Vivo Nex or LG V40 ThinQ, but the audio quality through wired headphones was definitely flagship grade. I heard a dynamic and detailed sound through my reference pair of earphones. By the way, Samsung also bundles a pair of AKG earphones in the box, which are possibly the best bundle deal you can get in the market right now. After years of taking flack for its TouchWiz operating system, Samsung has finally found its footing with One UI based on Android 9. Honestly, this is one of the best custom builds of Android out there. It's lightweight, it's nifty, and it feels extremely responsive as well. But the best thing about One UI is the fact that in my time with the phone, not once did I face a single bug, which means that the code feels absolutely complete. The design language of One UI is one that favors single-handed usage because Samsung mostly makes big phones. The interaction points in the notification shade and the first-party apps are pulled down to the bottom. It makes it easy to operate a massive phone like the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus with one hand. Although everyone seems to be suggesting that app icons inside folders in One UI should have moved lower as well, and even the app drawer for that matter. It is a legit design suggestion that could help Samsung software developers in future updates. You also have icons with rounded corners and rounded notification cards. This design language sits nicely with the whole curved edge look of the S10 Plus. Additionally, the new night mode that makes the whole UI dark looks incredible on the inky black AMOLED panel. You can also change the icon pack to one of your choice and edit the size of icons as well. As for the gestures implemented on One UI, they are very basic and it just mimics the capacitive buttons. What's good is that it is super responsive and becomes second nature pretty soon. Let's not forget about the already existing cool and familiar features like edge lighting and edge panels as well. There are only a few things that I don't like about One UI. Firstly, the Facebook app still cannot be uninstalled and there is a smattering of other third-party apps as well. Bixby, despite all of Samsung's R&D efforts, is still very average. I like the fact that you can use Bixby Voice to do system commands like switch on Bluetooth, but beyond that, the use for Bixby is very limited. There's a new Bixby routines as well to take on Apple's Siri shortcuts in case you want to bring in some automation in your life. All in all, One UI feels sufficiently premium and blends in beautifully with Samsung's whole hardware design aesthetic. For the first time on a Samsung flagship, the brand has introduced a triple camera setup on the rear. The Galaxy S10 Plus has a 12-megapixel primary sensor with a pixel size of 1.4 microns and a variable aperture that goes from f/2.4 to f/1.5. Then you get a 12-megapixel secondary telephoto camera attached to a 52mm lens. You get OIS on both these lenses. And finally, you have the new 12-megapixel wide-angle camera. The wide-angle camera on the Galaxy S10 Plus is where Samsung has clearly invested a lot of time in. The quality of pictures from this camera looks great in daylight. Yes, you get the typical overexposure and really bright images that you also get on the regular camera, but I quite like the colors and crispness on offer. Moreover, the low light performance of the wide-angle camera is not too bad either. But what's even more incredible is that you can shoot 4K videos without stabilization and 1080p videos with at least EIS using the wide camera. These videos also look great. This is probably the best wide-angle camera experience you can get on any phone right now. The regular camera takes good pictures too, but with a slight bit of over-sharpening. The colors are poppy and look great on the AMOLED panel. One of the coolest additions to the camera is the fact that you can now capture HDR10 Plus video. I'm not even kidding, this is probably the best addition to smartphone photography in a long time. So I shot a few videos in the format and my editor exported it to Premiere Pro and it looked all washed out, but then he realized that he could pull out so much color, details and dynamic range that it's not even funny. The sound recording is excellent too. I'm convinced that the S10 Plus is the best smartphone for capturing videos. Even the stabilization is at another level altogether. In fact, we have an entire video shot using the S10 Plus, a link to which should be in a card up there. Best part, the front camera can also shoot 4K. Trust me, you can use the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus to capture professional quality videos. In fact, if you want a phone for shooting vlogs on your YouTube channel, the S10 will definitely serve your purpose. While we're on the topic of the selfie camera on this S10 Plus, it has been upgraded to a 10 megapixel sensor. And there is a secondary 8MP depth sensor. It does take great pictures with serviceable portrait too, but I would have ideally liked a dedicated wide-angle secondary selfie camera. Yes, there is an option to go wide, but that is just the normal selfie camera. In regular selfies, Samsung actually crops in on the image. That's just a weird implementation in my opinion. My only concern with Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus's camera is the low light performance is not pixel grade, and that is where Samsung lags behind. Yes, the scene optimizer setting can detect low light scenarios and capture a good night shot, and of course there is also the variable aperture, but it is not as good as the Pixel 3. There's also a new best shot feature that helps you frame the right picture. I used it for the entire duration of my review, but it doesn't frame the best picture always. That said, the S10 Plus's camera app is feature-rich and probably the most intuitive camera app on an Android phone I've used till date. I really like the Pro mode too, and it helps you capture in RAW as well. Oh, and there is a dedicated Instagram mode now that lets you take pictures from the camera app and upload it directly to the social network. The Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus's 5 cameras, 3 on the rear, 2 on the front, are so versatile and feature-rich that it is easy to forget the whole brightening and overexposure issues that you face with the shots. In fact, I have a suggestion. Shoot the image and go to the gallery app to edit the photo. Use the auto edit feature and you will immediately see a picture that looks extremely attractive and dramatic, something that the Pixel 3 does from the get-go. The Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus in India runs on Samsung's homegrown Exynos 9820 system on chip. This 8nm octa-core system on chip has a Mali G76 MP12. For all the details on benchmarks and gaming performance, we have a convenient video for you guys. It should be up in a card on your screen right now. In fact, I have compared the Galaxy S10 Plus to the Mate 20 Pro and the iPhone XS Max in that video. Apart from benchmark numbers, I can tell you that the Galaxy S10 Plus didn't stutter once in my entire time with the phone. It is super responsive and it belts through opening apps and in multitasking as well. If the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus were a superhero, then it would be Krish. Oh, so you guys think Krish is not cool? You will only watch Marvel and DC superheroes. Posh fellows, huh? Anyway, moving on, our S10 Plus unit has 8 gigs of RAM, which is the default now. It also has 128 GB of storage, which is the base variant now. Samsung has really upped the game this time around. This storage is of the UFS 2.1 kind and super fast as well. You can also go up to 1 TB of storage and 12 gigs of RAM on the ceramic variant. That's just nuts. All said and done, there are confirmed reports that say that the Snapdragon 855 variant is more powerful than the Exynos variant in India. But in daily usage, honestly, I couldn't make out the difference. I played so many sessions of Guns of Boom and PUBG and Asphalt 9 that honestly, the performance delta is something that I'm not really concerned about. The Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus has a slightly larger 4100 mAh battery compared to the 4000 mAh battery inside the Galaxy Note 9. This battery gave me an average screen on time of over 5 hours and 30 minutes. This is not bad at all because I was using the phone in QHD Plus resolution and with the edge screen lighting on and always display on as well. So that is a lot of stress on the battery because my usage is also otherwise very heavy. One of the most interesting new additions to the S10 Plus is the wireless power share feature. This is essentially the same wireless charging that was also present on the Mate 20 Pro. And it continues to be a useless feature for reverse charging phones. But Samsung has another kick-ass plan, which is to charge accessories like the Galaxy Buds and the Galaxy Watch directly on the phone. Yes, these two new accessories come with wireless charging enabled. This helps Samsung upsell its accessories as well, especially at the discounted cost that you're getting at. And honestly, the collective experience of using the buds with the Galaxy S10 Plus is so good that I can hardly complain about this tactic by Samsung. Apart from this, in the box you get a 15-watt fast charger that can charge the phone from 0 to 100 in 1 hour and 50 minutes, which is great. As far as the call quality goes, I had no problems with the Galaxy S10 Plus as such, except for the slightly average noise cancellation. There were times when I heard a lot of noise from the other side through the earpiece slit. But the network stability was incredible. The Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is also one of the first phones to come with Wi-Fi 6 standard or 802.11ax. In fact, using this Wi-Fi standard, the throughput, the network speed, and the entire performance of even standard 2.4 GHz networks have improved drastically. While it won't matter much in India because there are not many public hotspots, if you are abroad, your S10 Plus will be the first to catch a Wi-Fi signal at public hotspots thanks to the new Wi-Fi 6 standard. So we're at the end of this review, and the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is not just the best phone that Samsung has ever made, it is also the best Android flagship in 2019 thus far. It is a well-rounded, cohesive smartphone experience that will definitely satisfy both Android loyalists and Samsung users alike. I have no complaints with the phone as such, and even if I do some minor nitpicks that can easily be overlooked. For example, the fact that Facebook cannot be uninstalled and the cameras on the phone is not the absolute best out there. You can live with these issues. Obviously, when you're out in the market to buy the Galaxy S10 Plus, you gotta consider a few options, and let's take a look at the competition right now. Google's Pixel 3 XL is a camera beast, and the stock Android experience is meant for the purists. But I have been using this phone for a long time now, and the notch is still irritating and the battery life is still really not up to the mark even after multiple updates. Buy it over the S10 Plus only if all you want is a kick-ass camera and nothing else. The Mate 20 Pro is Huawei's best device yet. I've had such a fun time using the phone. It is yet another well-rounded device that comes really close to giving the Galaxy S10 Plus a tough time. But I think the S10 Plus has a better display and a cleaner design. I'm sure the Mate 20 Pro will still find a few takers. The one battle that is never ending, iOS versus Android. Is the best iPhone better than the best Android has to offer? Honestly, I'm not even going down there. This one shouldn't even be a battle because it is a fight of philosophies more than anything else. If you have always been a part of the Apple ecosystem, buy the iPhone XS Max. There is no incentive for you on this side. Android will always feel like an unrefined experience. And if you have always been on the side of Android and Samsung's premium experiences, then the S10 Plus is the best right now. Apple's closed wall approach will only make you feel more stifled. So that's it from me, guys. That was my full review of the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. Until next time, this is Ashar from Mr. Phone signing off. Goodbye.